our standard setup, you start like you do every other drawing and just start with a predefined title block, fill in your attributes, and then generally within P4A, you'd start a new drawing and open your XRF manager, select attach whichever drawing you're using. Just go into attach drawing. And then if it's a big substation that you're doing, we can use XClip just to reduce the amount that's having to be rendered at any given time. And that's really simple. You type in XClip, and then you pick which reference you're going to clip out. And then out of the command line, you select new boundary, and you just draw a little rectangle. And then you go to your paper space, your layout tabs, make a new viewport, and then you orient your viewport. You activate your model space to the viewport, and then you navigate and orient same as you would when you're in model space, just orbiting around, panning, zooming. And you can even pick predefined scales. And then you always want to make sure you lock your viewports. And then 3D clip lets you actually clip the third dimension. Like for if you X clipped out one bay, then using 3D clip would let you set the elevation of it. And here in a second, I'll pull up P4A and we'll walk through it. It's basically just this right click menu, and you just tell it you want to adjust your front clipping, and then you drag this gray line here, you just drag it up and down, tell it where you want to clip to, and then the same thing for the back. And using layer controls, you can set up, you can either freeze layers individually as you're doing it, or you can set up layer groups or layer states is actually easier because you can predefine them in your template. So then you can have preset layer states for structural or foundation, whatever it is that particular drawing is going to be for. And then you start putting in your callouts and your dimensions. And like this enhanced callouts, it's going back and pulling the data back out of the original model that you have XREF'd in, and then adding in linear dimensions also. And we can do tables also, pulling those in. Okay. Here, all I've done is just attach the model itself into a standard AutoCAD drawing. And everything's here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a standard AutoCAD drawing. This one was made off of the generic ACAD template. And I just attached the drawing. And using XClip, you can cut out whichever pieces you need. Like go into new boundary, rectangular, and say you only needed like this position here. Unfortunately, in fast shaded mode, it doesn't show the clipping. Remove it, put a new one in. boundary, rectangular. So that's the part we needed. Then it's just that part, and it doesn't have to bother rendering the rest of it. And doing that, then you come over to your layout tabs, and you can make a new viewport. And that's all I've done here. I just drew 2 viewports to what's been clipped out. And it's showing in 2D wireframe just for performance. But you can set the viewport so that they'll plot in hidden view. So when we actually print a PDF or the hard copy, it'll be in hidden view. And from here, we can start doing our enhanced callouts. Some of it'll all depend on how the configuration is. I always just pick auto. Then you can come in and which kind you want. Start splicing them. And I currently have it set to replace. You can set it so it'll just keep re-annotating the same equipment, but and then like with the 3D clip, I'm gonna remove this. See that the drawing we were just looking at was just looking at like this bay. 3D clip, you can actually come in and pull a section out of this position here. This plan and elevation view is actually that position out of all of those. So then you do this the same way. You make your viewports, get it oriented the way you want. Type in, unlock your viewport. The 3D cut command, it takes just a second to load up. Then with your right clip menu, you can control what you're changing, your front clip or your back clip. And the create slice just moves both of them together. So like where right now I have it clipping out everything except that one position. If we wanted to see another position, you go to create slice and it moves them together. That way you could reuse drawings or reuse the layout for the next position. Always zoom in and out and around in here. That way you can get it exactly where you want it to be. Flipping. And then you just click and drag it to right where you need it to be. And if you see that viewport, as I move my clipping, it's giving you a live update. So you can get just where you want to be. When you're done, you just go to close, relock your viewport. And again, it's like I said, it's showing this in 2D wireframe just for performance. After you go through and you put all your callouts in, put in any dimensions you need. Just like I've done down here. If you need height of the structure, or let's see, height to the bottom of the switches. That snap, snap. And oh, and you can do your tables too. Going up to PUD table. Back out of here. Equipment. And place it. Normally you place it on another layout tab or have room on that one. But then now you have your bill based off of that. That's the full model. Yeah, that's what's referenced in here is the full model. This is the actual P4A model where all the transformers and circuit breakers and everything is brought in. And then it's referenced into the drawing.